Hello, and welcome to Astral Express Chat, a Honkai Star Rail podcast. This is your host, Brant, and I'm joined by my co-host, Zane.
Hello, welcome to another episode.
Yep, another week, another grind, more stuff. Yeah. I don't know.
What was that?
I was trying to say something and it just
so
did not
bad.
come out right.
No, it did not come out right. I will agree with you on that.
Yeah. Anyways, it's been quite an eventful week, wouldn't you say so, for the Star Rail community?
I would. The live stream coming out on 1.2, getting ever closer. About a week away from recording, since we're recording on a Tuesday.
Yep.
And I couldn't be more hype. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna get into more of the details about the live stream and what they talked about. I think it's gonna be really, really cool.
Yes, I think they're continuing to spoil us and take the game in a good direction and give us plenty of things to do.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
But yeah, do you want to give first a general
update?
Yeah,
I may have pulled the Wocha. Woohoo! And I did it in 74 total pulls, 75, and I did not fail 50-50, which was really great because I was doing single pulls, so every gem I got, I was spending.
Yes, you were frantically pulling for him.
Yeah, pretty much, because I really needed him on my team, and now my Silver Wolf QQ Luocha Welt team feels a lot better. And I have also finally hit the point where I am actually running out of money. I was at less than 100,000 the other day, which I had never even had an issue with before. But at the point where I'm at, being at like where I can do final ascensions and get to 80, like everything is so expensive.
Yes, once you hit that AR60 threshold, or not AR, sorry, Trailblaze level.
Wrong game.
I'm an ex-Genshin player. I'm sorry. I'm guilty. Guilty as charged. But once you hit that Trailblaze level 60, your credits like evaporate.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like to level up the traces from 9 to 10 is like 300,000 credits.
Ugh.
It's gross.
Yeah, needless to say, this Garden of Plenty event, each day I spend 6 of my 12 thingies of like double rewards on credits alone, just so I can like work up some credits to like spend, because getting Luocha up to where I have him now, which is 60, took like all the extra resources I had, and now I'm like out. And I also got his light cone to 70, which I used the perfect timing light cone, which increases his effect resist by 16% and increases his outgoing healing by 33% of the effect resist.
Which,
yeah.
Spoiler alert, will be getting a huge buff in update 1.2.
Yes, because of the
new planar ornaments.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
Quite exciting stuff. We kind of figured that might be coming based on that artifact, or that light cone having Locha's picture on it. Because most of the time, the light cones with people's faces on them are better for those people.
Yeah, definitely.
As a general rule of thumb. So we kind of figured something like that might be coming, but it's exciting now that it's confirmed.
Yeah, I also, like, one pull after Luocha on the standard banner got Bailu. So I went from having one healer to 3 in a matter of, like, minutes. And I don't know... I haven't even leveled Bailu besides, like, up to 20, because it's like, I don't have the resources to pull another character up to actual, like, playability.
Yeah, and I think, as you and I were discussing, since you've already built Natasha, while Bailu is better, Natasha can still get the job done, especially since what Eidolon do you have your Natasha at?
I believe she's E2.
E2, right. So, I mean, while Bailu will heal more, since you're in a position where you're already kind of running low on resources, it's really not worth investing
at the
in
moment,
a third
I'm
healer.
just going to try to finish characters as much as I can, because I can't yet, but
yeah,
everything is way too expensive.
It's kind of that weird stage, right? Because you want to, like, just finish characters off, but yet you also want to keep bringing all your general characters up to a certain point.
Yeah.
And it's kind of that weird issue where I'm at, like, the point where I want to finish my Sela. I want her to just be done.
Right.
but doing that requires so much resources, and then the rest of my characters don't get any better because everything's going in her.
Because you have to pour it into one, yeah.
Right.
It went from, because like early in the game, you can level everyone up all the way to like where you are in the game.
Oh yeah, easily.
And now it's the point where it's like I cannot level everyone up to the max because I can't even level one up to the max at this point. Like I've ascended 4 characters to where they can hit 80, but I have not leveled any of them to 80.
Yeah, and I've ascended 3 characters to 80. I have leveled one of them to 80. So I've leveled my Sela to 80. I've ascended my Bronya and my Clara. And that was for their third trace talent, like the bonus one.
Yeah.
Because both of their third talents are just so good that I really wanted them.
Yeah, I also got Welt's third talent, which is quite good, I might say. Being able to do 20% more damage to enemies inflicted with weakness break.
Yeah.
And a thing where he's purposely trying to weakness break with Silverwolf.
Yeah, I was about to say, especially with the team comp you're running with them, where the whole goal is to weakness break people.
Yeah.
It ends up being quite strong. So,
what were the traces on
Sela's trace, her bonus one is when she auto attacks, her action gets advanced forward. I think it's 20%.
Yeah.
Which is just really good, of course, when you're using a skill to KO something and then just throwing in a free auto attack to kill that skill, get that skill point back.
Yeah.
Bronya, I ascended her because her third trace, while she's on the field, all of your allies deal 10% more damage, flat, which is really good. And then Clara just makes it so her counter damage deals 30% more damage, which is kind of like all of her damage, which is pretty good. So that was why I picked those 3 so far. I don't know what else I'm going to do at this point. Right now I'm really just trying to finish my Sela. But
fair.
Artifacts are a pain.
Yeah,
Relics. Ex-Genshin player.
For me at the moment, I'm just trying to get Luocha up for the most part to where he's actually like useful in MOC.
Yeah.
Because he's already at the point where he is like pretty much fine to use, but I just want to I like getting all my characters up at the same time, which probably isn't the best way to do it. But I just prefer everyone to be good rather than like one be good.
See, I'd actually disagree with you on that front. I think me pouring all my resources into simply just Sela means that my second team struggles immensely. My second team gets the good old, hey, congrats, the first team cleared it in 1 turn. Now you've got, 11. Good luck.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it works. In the long run, hopefully we'll both get there. But I have a feeling you'll probably see sooner results than I will in terms of that, unless I can get lucky and finally get some Sela artifacts.
Yeah, because something I've noticed is like after working on this whole like Silverwolf, Luocha, QQ team, I've been putting so much effort into making the team work that it's now like better than my first team. Because like my first team just doesn't deal nearly as much damage, like at all. And it's just the second team now is really just kind of just shot ahead of my first team, which is fine because I really like it. I kind of like it more than my first team.
As I'd say, it almost feels like it is your first team at this point.
Yeah, it kind of just took over.
Yeah, I mean, because you're running 3 5-star characters on that team, are you not?
Yeah, I am.
So, I mean, it's definitely got the majority of your Stellar Jade on that account.
Yeah.
In it. So, that kind of has become your primary team.
Yep.
Plus, QQ is life, so...
QQ is very fun. Very fun character. I need to get her crit rate up, because it's only at 28%, which is not hot. Yeah. But, I'm working on it.
But, she's a work in progress. She already does plenty of damage, so...
Yeah.
But, you want to switch over to talking about...
Yeah, now we can get into the
1.2 update?
Yeah, live stream time.
Yeah.
Which, I will say, I feel like this live stream was way better than the last one. Probably just because it had more stuff, I feel like. I don't know. I enjoyed it more, I feel like, this time around.
The humor was still terrible.
Yeah, the humor is always kind of it's fine. The first thing I guess we'll talk about is the characters that were mentioned. And I'll start off talking about Blade, because I think I'm going to pull for Blade, but it's not like a need, it's more like a want. It's not like Luocha where I feel like I need him to make my team work. It's more like I want him because I think he's cool. Because I actually really like his whole aesthetic and gameplay of, like, damaging himself like Arlen does, but actually being able to heal himself and just flat out deal more damage.
Right.
It seems way more interesting. And having Luocha as well, it makes him...
Yeah. Plus, he's an HP scaling damage dealer from, like, what it looks like.
Yeah, I think he is.
I think the, one of the new artifact sets, like, increases your max HP. Yeah, so, it basically feels like they're setting him up to be, like, the Hu Tao of this game, where Hu Tao, you just give her a ton of HP and crit damage, and then she'd just go burr.
Was that people. Genshin?
Yeah, she was a Genshin character, and she could hit, like, upwards of 1 million damage on her ult.
Oh, okay.
Which was pretty good.
Yeah, that does sound good.
So, HP scaling damage dealers are quite a force to be reckoned with, especially when they're also kind of tanking for your team, since he is a path of destruction character. So, plus, like you said, his aesthetic is great.
I know, it's really cool, the sword.
So, the between the sword and, like, the red flowery effect things and all of that.
It's quite nice.
And then, of course, we've got probably the most hyped up character in the game, also coming in patch 1.2 in Kafka.
Yep.
Who, dot teams rejoice. They will finally exist. And hopefully she will enable them to do amazing things, as everyone wants her to be good, I think.
Yeah.
But you're planning on skipping Kafka,
I am
going to
skip Kafka. I'm not like all the people on the internet, you know, who are like, oh, Kafka. And then they're just like, Mommy? And, you know, it's like, I'm not like those people. Yeah. I don't really care that much about Kafka. She's fine. I think Blade is way cooler than Kafka, in my opinion. And I'm just going to skip her because I can just save up Jades.
Yeah, you also don't really have a lot of the dot characters.
No, I still don't have Sampo.
Yeah. So, I, on the other hand, I will almost certainly be pulling for a Kafka, because I want to run dot teams. As long as her numbers aren't just abysmal and she just doesn't work at all, then we'll have a Kafka for you guys. And then, of course, there's the new 4-star character, Luca.
Yep.
Who is an Nihility Physical.
Nihility Physical, yep.
Yep. And we'll see what he ends up doing. I think the hope is that
I honestly don't really remember what he does.
Yeah.
They said it in the live stream, and I kind of already forgot.
His kit was kind of
I think it's just focused on bleed.
Yes, he's supposed to be like the physical unit who could work with Kafka.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, you've got your Sampo who can work with Kafka. He can work with Kafka. Serval can work with Kafka.
Yeah.
And you end up getting some like different options of DPS, well, Nihility, but they'll function essentially as a DPS unit.
Right.
Options for Kafka to work with so that she can kind of slot in with different weakness breaks. I don't think Hela can really do it because she doesn't do dot damage. Nor Silverwolf because she also doesn't do dot damage.
Yeah.
So you're kind of going to be limited to those. It's possible, obviously, you could throw a Silverwolf on there to try to guarantee the correct weakness break, but
I just don't think that's how the dot team is going to want.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that's going to be what they want. It feels like what they're really going to want to do is set up the dots and then just blow them all up.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's going to mean that you're going to want 2 of these dot preppers on your team with just like survivability, or if you're going to end up wanting a buffer, or if you're going to want a 3rd Nihility unit to debuff the enemies, and then Pella all of a sudden is what you actually want for that like AoE damage or defense shred.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to kind of see how this like team comes together, but it does look quite interesting, and I'm excited to see kind of what form it takes because it could be quite good.
Part of me thinks Kafka is either going to be really, really good or really meh.
That's like, probably what it's going to be.
Because with her being like the dot leader in a sense, if she's meh, dot's going to be meh. If she's good, dot's going to be good.
Correct. She's basically going to set the tone for how good the dot team is.
Yeah.
So hopefully with all the marketing Hoyoverse is throwing into her, she will be another home run character like Silverwolf, where she comes out just about as strong as people were hoping. Yeah. So, but only time will tell.
Yeah, and we're getting 2 new light cones.
Yes, for the 5-star.
For each 5-star, yeah. I don't have any idea what they're gonna do, but they look cool. They look fun.
I mean, you've gotta think, right, that blades would have something to do with, like, if you hurt yourself or you're damaged. Yeah. You take damage, you get some sort of buff that scales with HP, with some HP scaling thing of some sort. And then Kafka's got to have something to do with
I feel like Kafka's
dots.
Would add an extra dot.
It's either going to add a dot or
like maybe
add a dot
vulnerability
dots. Or extend dots or some sort of thing where she enhances or adds in additional dots to make the team
something to make it
But
good.
We'll see as eventually the knowledge of what these things do will come out. But I have no idea at the moment.
Yeah. And we have the new story coming out. Woo-hoo.
We do. Finally,
I'm actually looking forward to this part of the story because the trailer looked really cool.
It did.
Like
and 2 new zones, right?
Yeah, two new areas, which will include a boss fight.
Yeah, cool. We'll have a third
third Echo of War. Woo.
Yeah, third weekly boss fight to do. So now, with our 3 boss fights, you can just do each one once. You probably won't do that, but it's fine.
I just try to make sure I have a decent bit of both, because I never know what I'm going to upgrade.
Yeah,
that's my thought.
Only fight Cocolia, because every character I use uses Cocolia.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, maybe some of these new characters will use the new boss material, and then I'll have an excuse to fight a different boss.
Yeah.
But so the zones that are coming out are the Alchemy Commission and
then
the
that
Scale Gorge Waterscape.
Yeah.
So, which
I think the second area looks way cooler.
I think everyone would probably agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Grant. Though I will say it looks like it has the Dong Hung thing that everyone's alluding to potentially happening.
Well, we saw him in the trailer.
Yeah.
With his looking like he got upgraded of some kind because he parted the sea or something.
Something like that.
That's what it looked like.
I don't know what it actually is or what. I don't remember his name. I know he's going to be a playable character.
Yeah, because we saw
MiHoYo officially.
Yeah, we saw. I at least saw on the Instagram they posted a thing. I think he's Imbibitor Lunae or something like that. Or
something like that.
I don't know.
A 5-star imaginary destruction unit. So
yeah, it'll be cool. I'm quite excited to see what he'll do.
Hoyoverse is really loving their destruction units right now. Yeah. They're releasing Blade, then immediately releasing another one. They're loving destruction and nihility, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. And something that the whole underwater area made me think of, and I know this probably isn't likely, but the idea of dungeons would be really cool in the game at some point. I know it wouldn't come for ages if it ever did, but something where you imagine a raid or something from Destiny, or if you all have ever played that. Where you spend an hour or so, you go through this thing to get cool rewards, and I was thinking maybe once a week you do a dungeon run. It'd be cool.
Yeah, some sort of thing where maybe for they add guilds into the game, and then as a guild you go through and help progress.
That's a separate thing. Guilds I also could see coming, but that's probably a discussion for another episode.
Yeah,
because that could probably take a while.
But and as we mentioned, there is a new boss coming.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that name.
Fontilia the Undying.
That sounded pretty good. I'm going to go with that.
Yeah. Then we also get to fight Yan King for some reason.
I don't know why.
I don't know why we'd be fighting him. Doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen, but fighting him's very interesting.
And I'm quite curious after doing his companion mission. Have you done that yet?
No spoilers,
okay.
Please.
Because I feel like it could be interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I have Yan King. Both of us have Yan King.
Yeah.
He's quite a fun character.
He's cool. I'll probably maybe build him at some point.
He's easy to build just because you just put as much crit damage as humanly possible on him. And then he just hits really, really hard. But But yeah, so we'll see why we end up fighting him.
His boss fight ends up being. Yeah. Then we have like a gorilla or like a giant monkey. I think that thing looks cool.
Abundance.
I think it looks quite cool.
Malefic ape. Yeah, his design is pretty neat. Hopefully he doesn't have the Mora thing where he comes back to life.
I mean, but with Luocha, just get rid of it.
That's true. But for people like me who are too lazy to actually switch my teams.
Yeah, and for people who don't get Luocha.
Yeah. Please don't add that. I'd rather just keep running by Lu.
Then we also have something called the Ascended, which to me just looks like another one of the exact same enemies we already have. Those ones with the like punishing thing where they like you can't use a basic attack, no skill, and then like the one that's like Gilded Age and has those like the imprisoned one too. It looks it looks like the exact same model. Just probably a different
just
abilities.
Hopefully not that annoying mechanic again.
Yeah.
Please.
We'll see.
Thank you.
I'm quite curious to see what that ends up being.
But the design is good. You can definitely tell that while it uses the same thing that they put.
It's a bit different. Yeah, it's not just the same.
Yeah. And then, of course, as I started mentioning, new relic and planner ornament sets. So the first one is definitely just the blade set.
Yeah.
Which,
for the moment, yeah.
At least for the moment. The 2-piece set increases max HP by some amount.
Yeah, we don't know how much.
And then the 4-piece of it is when the wearer is hit or has their HP reduced by an ally, including themselves. Their crit rate increases a set number of turns, and the effect is stackable.
Oh.
So I don't know how much it can stack.
I'm sure it'll have a limit.
I would.
If it doesn't,
have a limit, that's gonna get out of hand quickly.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Unless it's like 0.5% crit rate, and then like.
Yeah, then it'll just be kind of meh.
Then it's kind of meh, but depending on the numbers, this set could be really good. And in fact, depending on how good it is, people down the line might also use this. But if the stats are just kind of meh, it might just be a very niche blade set.
Mm-hmm.
Which wouldn't be the weirdest thing that's ever happened. Genshin players would know there's artifact sets that are like that, where it's just like very specific characters use them.
Right. I assume there'd be someone coming who would also need this.
Yeah, but
like any of characters that are gonna like
any
this.
Future.
But like, I know Arlon would use this. Well, would he? He want the extra HP? Probably not.
I don't know that he scales off of HP for his damage.
I don't know. I don't have him, so I don't.
And I have him, but I haven't really looked him over. So I don't know off the top of my head. But any character whose damage scales with HP and wants to do damage, this is probably a pretty compelling set.
Yeah.
But we'll just have to see. And then the
next... I think even taunt characters would like it. Any characters that taunt?
Yeah, it's possible to run just the 2-piece version.
No, but even the 4-piece, because it's whenever they're hit. Yeah. So, like, think about Clara when she's getting hit.
Yeah, it's just hard for it to compete, since she doesn't deal damage scaling with her HP. It's hard for it to compete with the 10% physical damage, and every time you hit or hit, getting more attack.
Okay, then I guess it really...
So, it's kind of limited more to characters that scale with HP. It's possible to probably be run as a 2-piece set for tanks.
Yeah, I could see
where
that.
you run a 2-piece, like, increase your max HP, then run a 2-piece, like, increase your defense, and then you've got, like, this, hey, I'm even tankier if I don't really care about a 4-piece.
Yeah.
But...
Then we have another set called the Messenger Traversing Hackerspace.
Yes.
Which is just speed.
Yes.
Is what it looks like.
This is the, I like to call this set the, hey, Branya, congrats, you finally have an artifact set that matters for you. Because, she didn't have one that was particularly great. The 2-piece just is a flat speed increase of some sort. And then the 4-piece set is when the wearer uses their ultimate on an ally, speed for all allies increases for a set number of turns, and the effect cannot be stacked.
Yeah, and I was just thinking about this. The fact that it cannot be stacked means you'd really only want to run one character with this relic set per team.
Correct.
Because if you have multiple characters who have it, it just becomes not nearly as good.
It definitely loses value when you start running on more than one character.
Yeah.
But you also have to think, I mean, of the characters in the game right now, Branya is like the main one, I think, that comes to my mind that doesn't have a set that she particularly cares about. I mean, maybe also Asta.
Yeah, I was about to say Asta.
This might also be Asta's
This
best
will make
in slot
Asta
set.
like crazy fast.
Yeah, because
especially with her increasing speed.
Yeah,
on top of more increasing speed.
This might make it so that
she'll just be like lightning
Asta gets
speed.
even better as well. But I think this set is pretty much exclusively for those two characters.
Yeah, I can't think of any other ones at the moment.
Because Ting Yun's gonna stay with her cowboy set. I'm forgetting the name.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But the for the attack increase and then the speed increase with the 4-piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and your DPS units aren't gonna run this.
No.
They're just not. Because they want selfish stats. But it is interesting. And pretty useful, I think.
And then on top of that, we're getting a new Sim Universe world, World 7.
World 7, which comes
that's going to include two new sets of planar ornaments.
And this first one is interesting, right? Because it's got a really tough competition. In the sense that this is the Rutilant Arena planar ornaments.
Yep.
And its 2-piece effect is it increases the wearer's crit rate. And when the wearer's crit rate is greater than or equal to a certain percentage, the wearer's basic attack and skill damage increases. Now, I have to think that this number is probably going to be pretty much identical to the innate Cecilio set.
The one currently used for most DPS.
Correct. The one that increases follow-up and ultimate damage.
Right.
By percentage.
Right.
So, characters like Clara, Jin Yuan, there's no way they're switching. Because they get both the Clara gets the follow-up buff, but that's all she needs.
Yeah, and it makes me think of, like, certain characters, like QQ would probably like this more.
QQ probably likes this more.
Because her ult isn't really the focus of her damage. It's mainly her basic attack. Correct.
Now, the interesting ones are, like, Sela. I don't know which kit she's gonna run.
Yeah,
because I could see both of... Because they're both good, right?
Yeah.
Because she likes her ult to do a ton of damage. But realistically, she uses her skill and basic attack so much this set might beat out Cecilio. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll have to see.
So, we'll let people who are smarter than us playtest that stuff and tell us which ones are better. But it definitely is exciting because I do think this is good.
Yeah, I agree.
And then the last planar ornament set is one that I think a lot of people were theory crafting that might come out, or guessing could come out. Do you want to read what this one does?
Yeah, so the 2-piece set effect is it increases the wearer's effect resistance, and when their effect resistance is equal to or greater than whatever percentage, all allies' crit damage increases.
Luocha rejoices.
Luocha is probably going to use.
Yeah, this is almost definitely going to be his best in slot.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling this is going to be pretty good because
I agree.
Crit damage percentage is solid.
Yeah.
Especially depending on the number. This could be real solid. And not to mention, effect resist on your healers and your tanking units is really good. And especially if they don't have another set that they really need, this allows them to like contribute to the hyper carry style.
Yeah.
In like their own unique way.
Yeah.
So I think this set's gonna be quite good.
Yeah.
I don't know what your thoughts are on it, but
I think it'll be great for Luocha. I'm not quite sure about other characters. I'm sure we'll see. Yeah. I haven't really built anyone besides Luocha with the idea of effect resistance even in mind. So it'll be quite interesting to see if this will change builds of like support units more towards effect resist, just for the extra crit damage to everyone else.
As I'd say, I think a lot of this set's viability is going to really depend on that threshold number that they need.
Yeah.
Because depending on how easy it is to slot it into relic substats, it could be where you have one support unit run this, and then another support unit run the flat attack, like the attack buff for all of your allies, and then you start getting like these stacking things. Because I mean, let's face it, crit damage boost is gonna be better than your attack boost most of the time on your fully built DPS units, assuming they have like 65% plus damage or crit rate. So this set could be very good.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. And then
we have some events.
They continue to spoil us with
the free 10 pulls each patch.
And the free 10 pulls.
I love it. The gift of Odyssey.
Man, if they can keep this up every single patch, we'll be happy campers over here.
I know, it's great.
The fact that you just don't do anything and you just get 10 free pulls, it's so good.
It's basically like as long as you keep up with the game and play it during each patch for, 7 days total?
Yes.
Like, you just get 10 pulls. That's like, okay.
Sign me up, right?
Yeah. And then we also have something called the Tales of the Fantastic. Most of these events, I don't really quite know what they're going to be yet. They've got different rewards.
I think this one showed an image of, like, one of those, like, mail delivery cranes picking up, like, a package.
Oh, yeah, I think I remember that now. Yeah, so something with those, like, mechanical cranes.
Who knows
then
what this is actually going to entail.
Then we have a mystery trotter event where you're going to, like, go after the trotters, which I think will be fun because I always like the trotters, so it'll at least be entertaining and
the trotters
free jades.
The trotters are cute. And free, like you said, free jades are free jades. So even if it's slightly boring, it'll still be free jades.
Yeah. Then we have another Planner Fisher,
which
double planner ornament.
Is so good.
Yeah.
Especially with the new planner ornament sets coming out, and I feel like I can never get enough planner ornaments.
Yeah, it'll be nice to have that again. Even though I didn't really do it last time, but maybe this time I will.
Yeah.
Then we have this underground treasure hunt thing.
Which, this one actually looks promising.
Kind of interesting. It's like, I remember seeing, like, a grid and, like...
Yeah.
Like, I imagine it's, like, shoveling or something. I don't know. I don't know the specifics.
We'll see what it looks like, but, I mean, when you look at these events, you've got the rare and the epic nihility trace upgrade as part of the rewards. So I have a feeling this will probably come out when Kafka is released, and if you get a Kafka, it'll help you Cinder Traces some. So, I mean, hey. I know this last one I'm really stoked about. Double relics.
Yeah, that'll be really nice. I definitely will take advantage of that. Because relics is one thing I really don't enjoy grinding. So being able to double it is nice.
Yeah, having the double relic runs is just going to be really, really good. Especially with the 2 new relic sets coming out and having to grind those from the start. It'll be quite nice.
Alright, well, that's our discussion of the 1.2 live stream. If you have anything you want to discuss with us, be sure to email us at astralexpresschat@gmail.com.
Oh, Brant, before we go, we left out the most important part of the update.
What?
The fact that you can have customizable chat boxes.
Oh my gosh, I forgot. Customizable chat boxes.
How could we forget this?
Yeah, well, besides that amazing fact, we will not talk about it. And, yeah, because I don't really think it's useful. Anyways, yeah.
It's because it's not, but...
I hope you guys have a good week. I know Zane hopes you guys have a good week.
Yeah, thanks so much for tuning in and listening, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.